drama day is actually fairly accurate because I don't have any idea what the hell Steven Sharif is doing. Now, I was a pre-law student like 26 years ago. Never went to law school. So I'm not a lawyer. But I can't fucking even fathom the direction that he's taking in this like desperate attempt to not lose, I guess, his masculinity. I have no idea why somebody would write what they wrote through their lawyer to try to hold on to the Discord and the domain name. What's even stupider is one of the pieces of one of the exhibits we're going to look at today is a licensing agreement. If you were smart enough to founder license the website address to your company, which isn't necessarily even completely comprehensive. And I noticed there's a lot of gaps in Steven's argument, and we'll get to those. But if you were smart enough to license the website address to Intrepid Studios, why the shit were you not smart enough to create Steven Sharif Creative Writing, put all of the lore, or Steven Sharif Game Design, right? And then lease the IP, the ideas, the setting through two companies back to Intrepid. Like, that way you would have retained ownership. I mean, as it is right now, unless there is a licensing agreement, everything Steven wrote for Vera, because he elected to take a paycheck, becomes easily fightable to say you were paying yourself. It's like a different story. If you're not paying yourself, you can make the argument, be like, well, I wasn't compensated, so I wasn't paid, so we can make this issue go away if they pay me fairly for my 10 years of work. But you were drawing a paycheck. Not only was Steven drawing a paycheck out of Intrepid Studios, which he lied to the community. I'm sure he'll have a different word for it, but I don't know a different word to define you saying, I haven't paid myself a penny, and then us finding ledger transactions where you paid yourself as an independent consultant, an independent contractor, which you can't even do if you're the CEO. Like, I don't know if John didn't know that or Steven didn't know that. To be an independent contractor, the key part of that is you must be independent. Intrepid, from what I understand, they had a lot of people that were hired on as independent contractors. If you make me come to work between this hour and that hour, if you give me work every day to do, I'm not an independent contractor. I'm a W-2 employee, and you have to pay me as such because you have to pay the appropriate state taxes and such. You have to pay my half of Social Security, my half of Medicare. Just calling somebody an independent contractor doesn't make them an independent contractor. They have to operate independently. Like, you come to me and you say, we want you to head up our CPI division. You want me to come to work every day? Yeah. From 7:30 to 3:30? Yeah. Then you can't contract me. You have to employ me. You want me to come in and set it up? You want me to write the 12 Ps, the binders, the ideas? You want me to come in and teach occasionally? Yeah, that's contract work. Because if you call me at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm making the binders. Well, I thought they'd be done. Well, they're due today at noon. I'm finishing them now. So what is new since the servers were put into storage? Well, John and Steven threw Zimmerman and Rhodes under the bus. But we'll dive into the thousands and thousands of pages of documentation here. First things first. Memorandum on points and authorities in support of plaintiff and cross-defendant Steven Sharif and third-party defendant John Moore's notice of motion and motion to compel arbitration and stay cross-complaint. When I first saw this, I said to myself, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Any company taking over? No, nobody can take over Ashes of Creation yet, because Ashes of Creation isn't got a clean title. Steven is saying that he still owns the company. Robert Dawson et al. Are saying we own the company. Robert Dawson and company don't even have, I don't believe they have the servers back yet. So they're dead in the water. Relevant factual background, legal standing. Okay. Plaintiff and cross-defendant Stephen Sharif, John Moore respectfully submit this motion for an order compelling arbitration of cross-complaint Intrepid Studios claims contained in the cross-complaint. Cross-defendants submit this motion to compel arbitration to enforce the terms of the master service agreement entered into by each of them in cross-complaint effective June 12, 2024. The MSA, among other things, compels the company and signatories to release all claims or disputes regarding the governance and/or funding of the company arising prior to the effective date. Even if the claims are not released, the MSA mandates that all relevant disputes are arbitrated according to the Federal Arbitration Act. Despite the fact that the MSA mandated these kinds of disputes be dealt with exclusively through arbitration, if not released entirely, a majority of the allegations of the cross-complaint fall squarely within the purview of the MSA. Therefore, arbitration is required. Hey, dumb shits, you filed the fucking federal lawsuit in violation of the MSA. So you have cost Robert Dawson February, March, April, May, June, July on your bullshit lawsuit. You've cost them 6 months, nearly $1 million. And now you want to move their part into arbitration, but not your part. Your part you want to stay in federal court. But you're so like this right here, the lawyer that drafted this, you have to say to yourself, look, this legal team did a hell of a lot better job than the other one did. But you just laid the argument for them to come along and say, no, you waived your right to arbitration by filing a federal lawsuit. Cross-defendant filed an amendment, verified shareholder derivative complaint, and direct complaint against Dawson, Ogden, Fett, Bartel, TFE, Jason Karamanis, the defendants, on February 14, 2026. Well, no, you didn't. That's sloppy writing, and it's not a big deal, but in the law, you can't have factual errors. You didn't file against Jason Karamanis on February 14th. You amended Jason Karamanis, and that's how it should reflect. The lawsuit seeks to hold cross-claimants' board of directors and its accomplices accountable for intentionally destroying the company, including through layoffs of its nearly entire workforce, through manufactured crises, and through bad faith foreclosures on purportedly secured loans. Okay. They didn't intentionally destroy the company through layoffs. Steven, you absconded with $20+ million. Because you never defend that all the money is spent accordingly. They didn't destroy the company through layoffs. You resigned, thus creating a vacuum. And they stepped in and they said, well, we're fucked. We don't have any money. Through manufactured crises. It is not a manufactured crisis if I say to you, I will fund the next piece as soon as you sign the business paperwork. If you never signed the business paperwork, we had a conditional reason I was going to give you money. You said, and we've seen this, Robert Dawson submitted them, Steven submitted them, we put them together, we looked at them. Robert's like, I'm not funding another dollar until the paperwork is signed. That's not manufacturing a crisis. On June 24th, 2026, cross-complainant filed against Zimmerman, Moore, and Rhodes, third-party defendants alleging the cross-defendant and third-party defendants diverted corporate assets and deceived investors and the company's board of directors about Intrepid's financial condition and business prospects. However, many of the claims for relief alleged include claims regarding actions, conduct that occurred prior to 2024. I don't think Steven's lawyer understands the situation he put Robert Dawson's lawyer in. Rob Dawson wants to get ownership of the title back so he can do something with it to recoup some or all of his $80 million. Jason Karamanis wants Rob to get it back because Jason owns between 15 and 39% of Intrepid Studios. I don't know what happened in that MSA of who gave up what ownerships, but Jason was due to own 30% plus 9.7%. And then some more on top of that. So I don't know what his ownership is, but Jason doesn't want this whole thing to just go vapor. He wants Rob to be able to do something with it so Jason can get 25 cents on the dollar, still puts 3 or 4 million back in his pocket. Steven, on the other hand, after I filed the lawsuit, now I'm saying it has to go to arbitration. Well, why didn't you activate the arbitration clause in the first place? Because in arbitration, you're not going to get shit. Like, in arbitration, that reviewer is going to say, you issued classes of shares of stock you weren't authorized to issue. What's kind of funny to me is that Rob Dawson has no reason now. He's not going to get his IP back anytime in the next 18 months minimum because the trial isn't even set until November of 2027. Rob has no reason not to go to the San Diego Police Department, the FBI, the SEC, and just make Steven's life fucking living hell. Like, you're two guys that stole the servers. Fuck being nice. Fuck doing it civilly. I'm just going to go to the San Diego Police Department and file a report of stolen property. And since that property is well over $1,000, it's grand fucking larceny, felony level theft. Eat a dick. We've got your email chain where you're like, I want $125 an hour to come and supervise no, that's extortion. And it's extortion by black letter law. Whether or not he committed extortion requires a jury of his peers to convict him of. But fuck him. Go to the police. Like, I don't think Zimmerman realizes he tanked his whole career. If I heard about this and I worked at a game company, he'd be on the do not hire list because when he got mad, he took the fucking servers. I don't see why Rob doesn't go to the police now and say, fuck him. Cross-claimant entered into the MSA on June of 24, as the MSA was ultimately signed by all parties on June 12th. That became the effective date of the agreement, and all disputes regarding governance and or funding of Intrepid prior to June 12th were subject to mandatory arbitration. The parties entered into the MSA specifically under the auspices of creating a framework for adjudicating any past claims regarding conduct that had occurred on or prior to June 12th. This right here, fuck them. This right here shows that you intended to sign an MSA to cover up your potentially criminal exploits. The San Diego Police Department, the FBI, they're not fucking bound by the cross complaints or the MSA. They can look into embezzlement. Fuck them. The parties agreed that the MSA would be enforceable pursuant to California Civil Code 664.6. Arbitration may be compelled and enforced according to the FAA, not the Federal Aviation Administration, but the Federal Arbitration Act. The parties to the MSA also agreed to avoid any dispute or disagreement between or among company and any of the equity holders as to the capitalization of the company, its corporate governance documents, any actions or government of the company prior to the effective date, any agreement or any lien, security interest, or other rights associated with. 70 months. I wonder if Steven's sentence will be shorter or longer. Rather than arbitrating its claims subject to the MSA, cross-complaint filed a civil cross-complaint. Well, yeah, they filed a civil cross-complaint because you had already filed in violation of the MSA. I think the judge at this point should look at Steven and John and say, you owe all of their legal bills, or I'm refusing to send this to arbitration because you brought a bad faith lawsuit. You are now claiming that you're invoking the MSA, but you've wasted 6 months of the court's time. In concert with the third recital in the MSA that states to avoid any dispute, its corporate governance Any agreement or any lien, security, interest, or other rights associated with the principal or interest amounts owed. The parties believe it is in their best interest to enter this settlement agreement. The MSA clearly states that any disputes that arise regarding governance must be dealt with through arbitration. So again, in your declaration, you are saying you knew that you had to go to arbitration, but you elected to file a federal lawsuit. Therefore, all disputes or disagreements that arise on or prior to June 12th must be resolved through the arbitration process. However, rather than releasing the alleged claims against cross-defendant or bringing them to arbitration as mandated, cross-complaint filed a civil lawsuit. This clearly violates the spirit of the MSA and contractual obligations it created. Dumb shits. Legal team that drafted this, you literally gave Dawson's lawyers the golden fork. This clearly violates the spirit of the MSA. Yes, we agree with you. Filing a lawsuit violates the spirit of the MSA, but we didn't file a lawsuit. We filed a counterclaim. Get fucked. Cross-complaint is governed by the FAA, stated in Section 12. The FAA was enacted to reverse long-standing judicial hostility to arbitration agreements. That is correct. So that you guys know the difference between like mediation and arbitration. Arbitration is legally binding. There is no route from arbitration to a courtroom unless you're appealing it, and then there's like 7 reasons why you can appeal legally binding arbitration. Conflict of interest being the one I remember off the top of my head. If you go to mediation, not arbitration, you go to mediation. Mediation is those things you've seen where they've kicked them down to talk to a magistrate with kind of like a referee in the room. If you can't get there, you go back to the courtroom. Arbitration, there is no back to the courtroom. There's an appealing of the arbitration's ruling. This is kind of like, if you want to liken it to family court with divorces, a lot of times the judge will say, we could slog through all of this, or we can send you down to mediation and hopefully you guys can trim up this list of things. You're right now you're miles apart on 50 issues. That's not really a good use of the court's time. Let's send this down to mediation. Let's see how many of those 50 the mediator can get addressed. I have a question about the whole Ashes situation. Great. Let's see. What happens to all the back payers? Is that money gone to the players? Yeah, the money's gone. The company's broke. The company has no money. Steven Sharif allegedly took $21 million out of the company. There is an awful lot of money missing. Earlier this year, I did a review of the QuickBooks document that I was given, because I can only review what I'm given. Like, I can't make shit up. They gave me, load this up. They gave me a copy of the QuickBooks file, and what I did was I bounced it completely. So where is it? So earlier this year, I took what should have been their document and I balanced it to the penny. You'll see the 369, 71337 matches. Their whole QuickBooks process was bunk. It was garbage, because they claim that they had additional paid-in capital, but by their own bookkeeping, they didn't assign additional paid-in capital any year but the second year. They also the way they cash flow their stuff, they made it look like 197.5 million moved in and out of the company, because they have transfers not labeled as transfers. They don't document why they're transferring. So this is my belief. This is my best guess from outside. I'm not accusing them of this. litigious bastards. What I'm saying, my best guess is they were moving money around, kind of like the Chronicles of Riddick. They were staying behind the night and in front of the day. They were moving money around, so the average daily balance of some accounts was high enough to facilitate loans. They knew that they were going to be applying for a loan, so they moved all the money into this account so that they could put this account as the account on the loan. And they're like, oh shit, there's $21 million in that account. And then when they got the loan against that account, they moved the money around again to make the other balances look good. That's the only thing I can think. Now, I'm not saying they did that. I'm saying that's the only thing I could come up with. But the really scary part is how piss poorly, and you'll see how wide this has to be to classify everything, and then I'll zoom in on the important part. But this is how they assigned out their money. The problem is they did not properly document when they got money in. Right? The other weird thing is that the way they document it, I'm not saying this is how things went. But what I'm saying is this is how they document it. They have $2 million in loans to Stephen Sharif. Oh no, I'm sorry. $362,000 in shareholder loans to Stephen Sharif. They have $3.9 million in loans to shareholder John Moore. They have $32 million in unclassified cash outflow. 16% of the money isn't properly accounted for. They have payroll at $102 million. 307,000 in meals. Fraud, waste, and abuse, Stephen Sharif, 1.9 million. Fraud, waste, and abuse, John Moore, 5.2 million. Unsupported transactions, $19 million in unsupported transactions. So there's where your money is. To ask the question, what about all the backers? Your money's gone. Your money's just absolutely gone. The statutory requirements for compelling arbitration are met. Arbitration agreements are valid, irrevocable, enforceable, save upon such grounds as exist at law or in equity for the revocation of any contract. Whereas here, a party to a valid written arbitration agreement refuses to arbitrate, the court shall make an order directing the parties to proceed to arbitration in accordance with the terms of the agreement. Well, here's an interesting one. Aaron Bartels, Ryan Ogden, Rob Dawson cannot find anywhere where Steven put money into the company. If Steven lied about the 12 million, the 2 million, the 4 million, because the number changes, it's not a valid and binding MSA because it's based on a fraudulent statement. I am able to balance that shit down to the penny. The books are good. I'm not saying the books are... I am not saying the books are an accurate representation of the truth. I am saying the books are an accurate representation of the books. There's no bullshit in them. Like Steven was trying to claim, fake books, cooked books. That's not the whole ledger. It very well may not be the whole ledger. But that ledger isn't cooked. That ledger is to the fucking penny. If that ledger is to the penny, then Steven, you never put any money in the company. I've bounced some of Rob Dawson's deposits. What should piss Rob Dawson off? You like the fro? Yeah, I've got August, September, October. I've got 4 more months till I can get a haircut. Can Steven go to jail for this? Yes. I am not saying Steven violated the law. I am saying that there are enough things that a prosecuting attorney could file charges against him. That ledger might be to the penny, but that doesn't mean someone didn't bake it. No, they couldn't have baked it because it's... Let me just say this. When you have a running balance over 10 years, it would be... when you don't know what access people have to outside documents, it becomes really difficult to cook books to the penny. When every known verifiable outside piece of data applies. Love what you're doing, man. Thank you for digging and revealing it all to us. Yeah, it's not what I want to be doing today, right? It's not what I want to be doing, but it needs to be done because this bullshit that Steven is doing is just ridiculous. He wants to send them to arbitration, but not himself. And so here's a bunch of just over and over and over. They're claiming why arbitration is there. Cross complaints breach of financial fiduciary duty claim for relief alleges conduct that occurred at least in part prior to June 2024. Cross complaint alleges that as its founder, CEO, and director from inception to resignation, Cross defendant owed fiduciary duties of care and loyalty to the company. Cross complaint alleges that the Cross defendant breached his fiduciary duties by causing Intrepid to mischaracterize investor capital contributions as revenue to secure commercial financing. This right here is a fucking big one. If you are telling a bank or a lending institution this money is revenue, then what you're doing is you're aligning an idea that your product is profitable. There is very specific paperwork my state requires every year for changes in investor capital. Like if somebody invested, I have 10,000 shares of PGN. If I sold one for $1,000 because somebody wanted whatever, I sold one for $10,000 because somebody wanted to finance an album, but they wanted a piece of the ownership for it. Fine, no problem. But then I have to report to the state that person's information because now they're a 1 out of 10,000 shareholder and I received $10,000. Yeah, capital contributions as revenue is a federal financial crime and the SEC won't even slap your pee-pee for it. They'll cut it off and throw it out the car window. Right, it's a really big deal. And that's why at this point with Steven's behavior, I don't know why Dawson and Karamanis don't just go to the SEC, the FBI, the San Diego Police Department, say, fuck it, you want to go scorched earth? We'll go scorched earth. Systematically diverting corporate assets for personal benefit, family member benefit, and personal real estate funding. Authorizing approximately $21 million in transactions, lacking documentation, establishing a legitimate corporate purpose. Failing to file required payroll tax returns. Obstructing Ogden's audit of personal transfers. Resigning without disclosing material adverse communications from Commerce West Bank. Communicating with Commerce West Bank after his resignation. Encouraging or facilitating the post-resignation withholding of company credentials, source code, and physical assets. Items A, B, C, and D all allegedly occurred before June 2024. Okay, so call the IRS then. If you don't want us to get this shit resolved, we'll call the IRS. The IRS can investigate you for failure to file your payroll taxes. Have a fucking day, son. If you spent $102 million in payroll over all those years, your federal payroll taxes are well over $7 million. Are subject to arbitration and cannot be alleged in a civil suit. Intrepid Studios was created on May 20th, 2015. Regardless of the mischaracterization of investor capital, Cross complaint states that beginning in or around February and continuing through resignation, Sharif made numerous specific and quantifiable representations concerning Intrepid's financial condition. By Cross claimant's own admissions, the conduct allegedly occurred in February. Could it be they don't want to do that because they will be under the microscope as well? That is a great question. And the answer is Robert Dawson. I don't think Steven wants anybody to know this. Robert Dawson is already under, financially, one of the tightest lenses of scrutiny. Robert Dawson owns a bank. There is no institution type in the fucking country that gets scrutinized more closely than FDIC insured financial institutions. Guy owns a bank. The guy, Robert Dawson, doesn't give a shit about people looking at his records, because his records are fucking reviewed randomly as it is, because he's a fucking bank. You can do X number of these types of transactions. You can do one of these transactions. Like they're talking about, if Steven had talked to them sooner, they could have saved his house with a lot less ass pain. I don't think Rob Dawson gives a shit, because is Rob Dawson a nice guy? No, he's not. He's not a nice guy. I mean, this is how Steven has us picturing Rob Dawson and Jason Karamanis, right? He's got us believing that it's Big Daddy Dawson with Jason Karamanis' as enforcer in the back. Steven specifically gave us text messages to paint Jason as a thug in the worst possible light, and that's bullshit. That's just complete and utter bullshit. Appreciate the resub. These two got taken for at least $94 million. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't want the SEC, the FBI, the San Diego Police Department looking into this, because it's criminal behavior. Now, whether or not a conviction happens, that's a completely different part of the equation. It's criminal behavior. It violates criminal statutes. But what's funny is you're talking about A, B, C, and D. You're not talking about E, F, G, or H. Cross-complainant alleges $2.6 million in shareholder loans were misappropriated for personal use. Once again, all of these alleged claims occurred or partially occurred prior to the effective date. Yeah, but you know what the funny part is? Those are fucking crimes, Steven. Like, your lawyer is very much pushing Dawson into okay, I'll just report it to the authorities then. Fuck you. Intentional misrepresentation. Cross-complaint also alleges cross-defendant made representations material fact to Intrepid, its board, and investors. That cross-defendant either knew were false at the time or made with reckless disregard for the truth. In February 2021, cash flow projections and April 22 launch time provided to Dawson. High nine-figure valuation. The public representation of the funding coming entirely from Sharif. May 31st, 2024, representation of the board. 24 to 45 million in revenue within 2 months of August's launch. Well, he knew that was fake. Is there any way I can get my money back? No. If you know all of your Exola, if you bought through Exola and you know all of your transactions, you might be able to get your money back. But most people haven't gotten their money back because Exola, unless you can pressure them just the right way, Exola doesn't have any of Intrepid's money. Well, so there is money to get back, but that is why you use a third-party payment processor. What a lot of people don't fully grasp is here's Exola, and here's Intrepid, and here's you. And you technically never had a business relationship with Intrepid Studios. And a lot of people, especially Europeans, they get mad about this. And I'm like, look, I'm not talking, I'm a dual citizen. I get how businesses and rules and laws and consumer protections work in Europe, but you didn't do a transaction in Europe. You did a transaction in America. Hate to be a dick, but I'm just trying to cut through the bullshit of, well, I'm a European and I have the right to no, the fuck you don't. If they were based in Europe, you would have an argument. But the problem becomes, if the European Union ordered me as Paradox Gaming Network Incorporated to do something, I would tell them to go fuck themselves. Because I'm not subject to your laws. You can file a lawsuit in America against American law, but I'm not subject to European law. Now, they could, as a person, they could block my passport. They could file criminal charges against me, but my country won't extradite me for it. The problem is you had a relationship with Exola. Exola had a relationship with Intrepid Studios. You bought something that they had to get from them and then they gave to you. You can, in theory, file a chargeback against Exola because they haven't provided you the product. But Exola has been kicking back a lot of refunds with the testing did open on this date, therefore you got what you paid for. You got the big ticket item of your Founders Pack. The game launched. When it went on Steam, Exola considers that a launch. And you're like, but it wasn't a game launch. We don't care. The game launched. Now, Steam is holding some amount of Intrepid's money still. Steam has been giving refunds. I haven't been here in a while, but are you also angry about the Sony thing? Why are they getting rid of disc? I'll take that just as a quick... I don't give a shit about Sony getting rid of the disc player. I don't give a shit. Here's why I don't give a shit. You haven't been able to play a game without an internet connection to download it some way, shape, form, or the other in fucking years. Right? Just because you own a disc doesn't mean you have a perpetual license. They can still ban your online account that takes all your disc games out with it. Because you can't run the game without the update. I don't give a shit. This PC over here doesn't even have a fucking CD-ROM in it. Because when was the last time I read from a CD-ROM? Yeah, nobody bitched about it when PCs got rid of optical drives. My new one doesn't. Now, my other one does, because my other one has 2 CD burners in it. It has a regular... It has the regular computer read-write, and then it has a CD burner for music CDs, which is a lot fucking simpler than using a writing program. I literally put a CD in and I say, do it. It fucking does it. It was a scam. Ashes of Creation was not a scam. Ashes of Creation, because when they shut down those servers, we just lose the game entirely. Right. You lose the game entirely whether or not you have the disc. You can have a disc and it has a download. You still can't play it. Can't wait until we get a chip installed on our brain so we can download shit straight into our mind. Yeah. Would be nice. The problem is, wait, if the product was an alpha key and you got an alpha key, well, technically they gave you what you paid for, or they gave you the big ticket item. They gave you the main ticket item of the pack. It's kind of like you buy concert tickets and one of the headliners doesn't show up. They don't have to give you a refund because in the terms, it'll say some artists may change without prior notice. If they shut down the servers, we should be able to play the games on a hard drive. No, you shouldn't. And this was the entire problem with Stop Killing Games. You want to tell a company that's building an online game that they also have to build a standalone product for the PC. Cool. Watch as the number of games that gets created every year drops by 99%. Stop Killing Games was asking for something that would in fact have killed games. You cannot take a game like The Crew and have it run on your local PC. You mean for offline games? Offline games, you can already do that. They don't have to do anything for that. If the game is an offline game, it runs while offline. Ashes was extremely ruled by poor management. with a narcissistic leadership like Steven, and see what happened. Company just completely broke down. Yes, Steven Sharif, without a doubt. Steven Sharif absolutely needs a copy of this book, because Steven Sharif needs to understand he's not the smartest guy in the room. And that's what will kill Steven in the long run. Steven is way more charismatic than I am. When we rolled stats for character, Steven rolled a natural 18 for charisma, and the table GM allowed him to roll another 3d6 because he hit 18, and Steven rolled a 6 and had 24. Steven's got an amazing fucking charisma. Without a doubt. Man could sell sand to a camel. It's got great charisma. But when he threw intelligence, he threw a 1d4. And when he threw a wisdom, he threw a 1d4 minus 6. He's not wise. He's not smart. You can't commingle. You cannot commingle your funds and the company's funds. There's literally pages upon pages and upon pages upon volumes called alternate identity. It's like when I go to Disney next week. It's so nice that the Ashes shit broke while I'm still here. When I go to Disney next week, my last Disney trip for the year, my last Disney trip for about 5 years, my PGN credit card will be in my wallet. The likelihood of me spending any money on the PGN credit card is very, very, very nil. Disney World. He's the poster child for modern hubris. Yeah. Especially with this document that just goes on and on and on. Items B and C recurred within the time frame. Right, but you notice this? A, B, C, D, E, A, D, E, B, C. You're not even addressing the fact that you lied. You're addressing the fact that it wasn't arbitrated. Negligent misrepresentation. Cross-complainant also alleges that cross-defendant is not found liable for intentional misrepresentation as it pleaded in its fourth claim. The same conduct here as the fourth claim for relief falls under the previous MSA. Corporate waste. 21 million in transactions lacking supporting documentation, 10 to 12 million in net personal extractions, 3.7 million in payments to family, 1.8 million in unsupported credit card reimbursements, 1.263 in vendor payments to related entities, and the company applied to personal real estate obligations coded Gore Oil Company. Lastly, cross-complaint argues that its QuickBooks records show approximately $125,000 in shareholder loan disbursements on or around April 2nd, 2024 were coded as Gore Oil Company. Directly after that allegation, the cross-complaint states $1.8 million in reimbursements were made to Sharif and more for personal credit card expenditures, demonstrating the conduct occurred around the same time as the alleged shareholder loans. They all occurred prior to the effective date of the MSA. You notice that they're not even arguing that these things aren't true. They're arguing that they need to be sent to arbitration. Breach of contract. You broke the contract by filing a federal lawsuit, you dumbasses. Like, I do go to Disney quite a bit this year because they gave me a season pass for $500. All of these things you're just saying these need to be arbitrated. Fine. So does yours then. The cross-complaint alleges that it entitled to restitution and disgorgement of all funds. However, as we discussed in previous claims, they were allegedly wrongfully obtained prior to June 12th and must be adjudicated. Breach of fiduciary duty. These are all they're saying is these all happened before the MSA was signed. I don't go to Disney for the Disney politics. I go to Disney for the fucking churros and the Mickey bars and the Dole Whip. Conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, Sharif and Moore respectfully request that the court grant this motion, compel cross-complaint to submit all claims to arbitration. Submit all claims, except you didn't even address all of the things. So the judge is going to turn around and be like, no, because some of the shit that you're asking for happened after the MSA was signed. But here's where you're going to see Stephen and John throw people under the bus. So this is John Moore's statement. I, John Moore, I am a third-party defendant in this action. I am the former CFO and member of the board of directors. I served as former chief financial officer and member of the board until about July 2024. The MSA included a provision that all disputes regarding governance and/or funding are subject to mandatory arbitration. I'm aware Stephen Sharif filed a lawsuit alleging claims for relief in part. So why did you not know? Why did you not know that before you filed this lawsuit? I request that the court compel arbitration. That's great. Stephen Sharif does the same thing. I am the duly admitted to practice before the court. Here's the fucking lawyer's statement. This is the good faith. I'm not bringing a frivolous lawsuit. And then here is what I think Stephen didn't want to have to file. So all of that is one move. That one move is Stephen wanting to get all of that out of federal court, back to arbitration. But he still has to answer to it. The man-child was stealing corporate funds while playing house and pretending to be a CEO. Things didn't end well with that leadership. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, you have a guy who had all the money he needed to do the project and didn't apply the money to the project. So now their other part is plaintiff and cross-defendant Stephen Sharif's opposition to motion to compel turnover of Intrepid's intellectual property. So, if you're not aware, Stephen Sharif controls the Discord. He controls the Reddit. He controls the X account. He controls the website. We're going to go through their talking points, and then we're going to, just be honest with some of them. Some of the absolute crap that these lawyers are trying to do. Sharif and Intrepid, through their counsel, met and conferred with issues presented by the turnover motion, but we were unable to reach an agreement to resolve the motion, necessitating this opposition. Declaration in support of opposition to turnover to allow further meet and confer. Intrepid and plaintiff agreed to allow each other an additional day to file their respective opposition and replies to this motion, which is why this opposition is being filed 13 days before the hearing date. This case is a shareholder dispute concerning Intrepid Studios and the MMORPG known as Ashes of Creation, which was created by Sharif. Intrepid's turnover motion is heavy on unfounded serious allegations, but light on any evidence. It is also unclear as to the exact relief it requests. As example, the turnover motion includes multiple differing lists of purported assets that it seeks to be turned over. In addition, the motion is not clear if it requests for the assets to be turned over to the court-appointed IP or to Intrepid. Nor does the motion state if assets are returned to Intrepid, whether they would be accessible to the defendant's board members of Intrepid. Despite the occasional ambiguity, the motion ultimately concedes that Intrepid's assets should be returned to the court-appointed IP custodian. Intrepid respectfully requests that the court grant this motion and enter the relief set above. The relief preserves the company's core assets with a neutral custodian, restores the status quo that existed before the dispute, and protects Intrepid and its shareholders, including Sharif, while the parties litigate their remaining disputes. Wait, what? Hold on. Did you get your fucking lawyer out of the Temu bargain bin? Because you just said, while the parties litigate the remaining disputes. But I thought 2 days ago, 2 days prior, you wrote that you wanted things to be arbitrated, but not yours. So you want to take their lawsuit, put it into arbitration, but keep your lawsuit because you want to litigate your dispute, but you want to arbitrate their dispute. Plaintiff notes that Intrepid has submitted no proof of service of the turnover motion on Zimmerman or Rhodes. In addition, Moore has not yet appeared in this action. Cool. Setting aside the ambiguity of the requested relief, Intrepid submits no evidence that the plaintiff possesses or controls any of the assets or that he has prevented Intrepid's access to any of them. Rather, the turnover motion merely levies conclusory defamatory attacks against plaintiff without evidentiary support. Guy, you're gonna get fucking sanctioned by the court for this setting right here. They did submit evidence. They submitted photographic evidence of Zimmerman removing the servers from the fucking building. Guy is on the fucking video camera, right? So this is where I said Rob Dawson has no reason not to go to the San Diego Police Department now and say, hey, we were trying to resolve this civilly, not like being civil, but civilly through civil court. And now they're saying that we're making defamatory attacks against them. So fine, fuck them. We'd like you to investigate, because if you charge them with grand larceny, now it's not a defamatory attack on you. Weren't you charged and convicted of grand theft larceny of removing servers from a server farm after the date of your resignation? Yes, fuck off then. Remember, the truth is an ultimate defense against slander, libel, and defamation of character. Intrepid asserts that Zimmerman deleted Slack channels and communications belonging to Intrepid, but none of the supporting evidence submitted by Intrepid substantiates that alleged deletion. Likewise, Intrepid asserts that Sharif removed individuals from Intrepid's social media accounts at Discord and Reddit, claiming that destruction of company records, but neither the motion nor the single supporting declaration identifies any factual basis supporting that accusation. If they need that, I've got plenty of people that can say I was banned from the Reddit or I was banned from the Discord. In addition, the turnover motion seeks mandatory affirmative relief. Mandatory injunction relief is disfavored and requires that the moving party to show that the law and the facts clearly favor her position, not simply that she is likely to succeed. The court should deny the turnover motion as to Sharif, or at most order continual neutral preservation of the assets, with the exception of the following assets over which plaintiff and third-party defendant John Moore claim ownership rights. The GoDaddy account for the related domain www.ashesofcreation.com. So John Moore allegedly paid for the domain name ashesofcreation.com out of his own pocket. Cool. Were you reimbursed? Yes or no? If you were reimbursed, it belongs to the company. I don't own ParadoxGaming.net, Ashes101.com, PGNmusic.com, Arcade101.com, Jalon.com. I don't own any of those. The company does. The company pays for them. I don't think John didn't get reimbursed, and I don't think John can claim he didn't get reimbursed because there's $6-7 million of reimbursements. The Ashes of Creation Reddit account, the Ashes of Creation Discord account, the Ashes of Creation YouTube account, the Ashes of Creation X account, right? Collectively, affirmation accounts shall be referred to as the founder-owned assets. Plaintiff does not oppose the court-appointed IP custodian receiving and preserving any of the other assets. To the extent that the turnover motion seeks other relief, Sharif brought this action in part to protect Intrepid's assets. Sharif brought this action individually and derivatively on behalf of Intrepid after the defendants allegedly attempted to obtain and exploit Intrepid's intellectual property and trade secrets through a disputed Article 9 foreclosure. Cool. But the judge has already said the Article 9 foreclosure probably wasn't righteous. TFE Gaming has already unrolled the Article 9 foreclosure, and the judge has basically said you can do another one. Sharif filed this action asserting direct complaints on his own belief and derivative claims as a shareholder on behalf of Intrepid to enjoin defendants from continuing a course of conduct designed to dismantle and strip Intrepid of its assets, including intellectual property and trade secrets, compromising Ashes of Creation. After filing this case, Sharif sought emergency relief to preserve the assets, not transfer of control. Sharif motioned for a TRO requesting an order enjoining defendants from accessing, using, selling, distributing, or causing anyone to access, use, sell, or distribute Intrepid's trade secrets, including accounts or applications containing those trade secrets. Sharif brought in action in opposition to the MSA they claim is in place. How's that going to play out? What's going to play out is the judge... So... The judge is probably frustrated as shit at this point. I would not be surprised if the judge basically gives Sharif's side an ultimatum. Either A, since we're 6 months into this, and their legal side is nearly $1 million into legal defense fund. If you want to move this to arbitration, you have to reimburse them for their lawyers because you spent 6 months bringing a legal action that by your own legal brief, you know you couldn't bring that lawsuit. Or if you don't have a check, if you don't have money right now to write them a check for all their legal defense, I'm not going to remand it to arbitration. You waive the right to arbitration by filing this lawsuit and by not informing this honorable court of an agreement until the 11th hour. I'm now going to set aside your agreement and grant you your waiver. Well, I didn't ask for a waiver. Well, you clearly did because you brought a federal lawsuit, and 6 months later you're telling me that you couldn't have brought your lawsuit either. I don't know why Steven thinks he wants to go to arbitration with this, because he doesn't win in arbitration. What trade secrets? Trade secrets are anything that you develop. Like, trade secrets is a dumb term because it's anything that you develop that's not known to the industry. It's bullshit. It's like everything involving your MMO is a trade secret. No, most of that shit is well known. He likely got reimbursed. But the poor record keeping doesn't explicitly show he was reimbursed, so they're going to make the court go, well, all these reimbursements tomorrow are sufficient to cover the personal payment part. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. I feel bad for Steven's lawyers at this point. They have to defend a fat anus that keeps spewing diarrhea, and in the end, there's no way they get paid. Steven has zero money. I actually don't think Steven has zero money. I think Steven has to have money somewhere because I don't readily see a legal team joining this I don't see the new legal team joining this without a retainer. And I imagine they're the type of law firm that you cap off your retainer monthly. Like, I think this is one of those I don't work if I don't get paid. So I don't feel bad for his lawyers after he disclosed what is happening. It was up to them to work for him or not. No, that's okay. So remember, a lawyer can't just quit. Once you take a case, as long as you're being paid, it's really difficult to withdraw. Now, the new lawyers could have filed their notice of appearance and then gotten information and immediately turned around and went to the court. Hey, you know what? Based on information we've had, we can't keep this client. We're within 30 days. We can't keep this client. Yeah, you can't walk away. Now, sometimes the judge will let you. Yeah, they need to... Once you file a notice of appearance, you have to file a notice of withdrawal. And the judge has to approve it. Now, sometimes the notice of withdrawal happens like Brown and Brown divorce lawyers. They separate and go their opposite ways. And I'm getting divorced for the second time. And Brown and Brown, as a conjoined unit, handled my first divorce. So I pick Brown number 1 to do my second divorce, and my wife picks Brown number 2. Well, I go into court, and before I file my motion for recusal, the other attorney walks in and says, Your Honor, I hate to do this, but we represented Mr. Jalan in his first divorce. I wasn't aware my client was divorcing Mr. Jalan. I need to recuse myself. I need to withdraw because I know things about him that I can't properly represent my client because of attorney-client privilege that still exists with him. Remember, attorney-client privilege never ends. It never ends. Death doesn't even undo attorney-client privilege. It's like, that's it. The court appointed a new